of the Fatwa Commission is to discuss and issue fatwas regarding problems faced by society, Muslim society, from the perspective of Islamic law. Among these issues is the halal haram status of consumer product that will be distributed among Muslim communities. So about halal product, the fatwa about halal product in Indonesia, only 2 institutions that allow to give this kind of fatwa. The first is Fatwa Commission of Indonesian Ulama Council, and the second is Fatwa Committee of BPGPH. So only 2 institutions that issued fatwa halal product fatwa. And method of determining fatwa in general, issuing a fatwa on a clear program, the law and its argument, maklum min ad-din bid-darurah, are carried out by conveying the law as it is. Determination of fatwa regarding problems that occur, differences of opinion, masail khilafiyah in madhab circle, then the determination of a fatwa is based on the result of efforts seeking common ground between the opinions expressed. If a common ground is not reached, then the fatwa is issued on the tarjih result through the method muqaranah or comparison. And next, about the example, we have several examples here. Fatwa of Indonesian Ulama Council, and we spare 2 parts. The first is fatwa in Syafi'iyah madhab, and the second is comparative between madhab, not only Syafi'iyah. So I have several examples for fatwa MUI only in Syafi'iyah madhab. The first example is slaughter standard Indonesian Ulama Council. It is fatwa number 12 of 2009. The resume of fatwa, there is verse of Al-Quran, Surah Al-An'am 118. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Fakulu mimma dzukira smullahi alaihi in kuntum bi ayatihi mu'minin. So eat only of what is slaughtered in Allah's name if you truly believe in his revelation. Standard slaughtering process. Slaughter is carried out with the intention of slaughtering and chanting the name of Allah Almighty. Slaughter is carried out by draining blood through cutting the food pipe al-mari, respiratory tract al-hulqum, and 2 blood vessels al-wadajain. And slaughtering is done once and quickly. Ensure that there is a blood flow or animal movement as a sign of the animal's life. Ensure that the death of the animal was caused by the slaughter. And standard slaughtering tool. Slaughter tools must be sharp, not nails, teeth, or fangs, or bones. And slaughter failure is an animal slaughter that does not comply with Sharia slaughter standard. So it is the fatwa about slaughter standard. And the other fatwa about alcohol laws. According to Sharia Indonesia Ulama Council Fatwa, it is number 11, 2009. The resume of fatwa began with ayat Al-Quran. Ya ayyuhalladzina amanu innamal khamru wal maisir wal ansab wal azlamu rijsum min amali syaitan fajtanibuhu la'allakum tuflihun. O believers, intoxicants, gambling, idols, and drawing lust for occasions are all evil of Satan's handiwork. So shun them so you may be successful. Khamr is any intoxicating drink, whether made from grapes or otherwise, whether cooked or not. Alcohol is a general term for any organic compound that has a functional group called by hydroxyl group OH attached to a carbon atom. Alcoholic drinks are drinks that contain ethanol and or methanol, acetaldehyde, and ethylacetate, which is made by fermentation with engineering from various types of vegetable raw materials that contain carbohydrates. Alcohol that comes from the khamr industry is unclean or najis and prohibited or haram to consume. Alcohol that does not come from the khamr industry is considered pure, whereas is consumed in the form of food, the maximum is 0.5%. And in the form of drinks, the maximum is less than 0.5%. Okay, it is the second example of Indonesian Ulama Council Fatwa in Syafi'iyah Madhab. And the third about using microbes and microbial product in food. It is Fatwa number 1, 2010. We find the verse of Al-Quran, Surah Al-A'raf 157. وَيُحِلُّ لَهُمُ الطَّيِّبَاتِ وَيُحَرِّمُ عَلَيْهِمُ الْخَبَائِثِ. Permits for them what is lawful and forbids to them what is impure. About this fatwa, the phenomenon of using microbes and microbial product for the production of food, beverage, cosmetic, and medicine. Microbe is microscopic organism that is about 1,000th of millimeter in size and can only be seen using a microscope. Microbial product are product of science with the help of microbes, which can be in the form of microbial cells or in the form of microbial metabolism products, including proteins, vitamins, organic acids, organic solvents, and amino acids. Microbe and microbial product are halal as long as they are not harmful and they are not unclean or najis. Microbe and microbial product grow in unclean growth media. If the microbe and media can be spirated and then purified by water, then it is halal. Microbe and microbial product from microbe that use pork and or dog growth medium are prohibited or haram. Yes, it is the fatwa about microbes and microbial. And next fatwa about resalt water. It is number 2, fatwa 2010. The verse of Al-Quran, wa yunazzilu alaikum minas sama'i ma'an liyutahhirakum. And he sent down rain from the sky to purify you. Surah Al-Anfal, ayah 11. Technological development make it possible to recycle water from waste mixed with dirt and unclean to become clear and clean. Recycled water is pure, tahir, and purifies as long as it is processed according to Islamic jurisprudence. In Islamic jurisprudence, there are 3 ways to recycle water. The first, draining. The second, increasing volume. And the third, engineering. Provide the medicine and tools are pure, and water volume is more than 270 liters. It is in fiqh named by Kullatain. And recycled water is intended, can be used for ablution, purification from uncleans and hadath, cooking, drinking, and other benefits, as long as it does not endanger health. Yes, all the participants, it is the example of fatwa about recycled water. And the last example fatwa of Indonesian Ulama Council in Syafi'iyah madhab, not comparative between madhab. It is about sifat kafi, fatwa number 7, 2010. Ya ayyuhalladzina amanu kulu min thayyibati ma razaqnakum. All believers, eat from the good thing we have provided for you. Luwak kafi is kafi beans that are eaten by sifat and then excreted with their faces. It is halal consumption under the following condition. The first, when taken out, the coffee beans are still intact. The second, purified before being processed into coffee powder and consumed. Producing and selling luwak coffee is legally permissible according to Sharia. Okay, it is all the example. 5. I think I gave you 5 example of fatwa Indonesian Ulama Council in Syafi'iyah madhab, and now I will give the example fatwa fikih comparative, comparative between madhahib fikih, different scholars. For example, Hanafiyah, Malikiyah, Syafi'iyah, Hanabila, and the other madhab. Fatwa fikih comparative, comparison of madhab is a method used to compare and analyze the differences and similarities between madhab in Islam. The example of fatwa, the first example, consuming escargot. According to madhab Syafi'iyah, the law on eating escargot is haram. This is in accordance with the opinion of the majority of ulama of madhab fiqh, like Hanafiyah, Syafi'iyah, Hanabila, and Zohiriyah. All of them said that consuming escargot is haram. But according to ulama Malikiyah, consuming escargot is halal if it is slaughtered first. The meaning of slaughter here is stabbed with a sharp object, roasted or boiled. So in this case, only Malikiyah who allow consuming escargot. The other madhab fiqh, such as Syafi'iyah, Hanafiyah, Hanabila, Dhahiriyah, said it is not allowed to consumption. And the second fatwa, comparative, consuming horse meat. Consuming horse meat is halal according to Madhab Syafi'iyah. We are in Indonesia, as I told you just now, the majority is Syafi'iyah. So it is allowed to eat horse meat. But according to the Hanafiya madhab, the law is makruh, not haram, but makruh. I mean, not recommended. The argument from the Shafi'iyah is that horse is livestock whose meat is halal, and there is no clear text Al-Quran and Al-Hadith regarding its prohibition. Meanwhile, the argument of Hanafiyah madhab is that horse is fed only for its energy. So it is the fatwa comparative madhab. And the third example, dogs unclean pure status. It is not about halal haram because all of the scholars of the madhab, their opinion in the same opinion that dog's meat is haram to consumption. Haram to consumption, but it is only about clean or pure status. Dog's clean or pure status. All Muslim scholars agree that consuming dog meat is haram. However, but differ in their opinion regarding the unclean pure status of dog. According to the Madhab Syafi'iyah and the majority of ulama, dogs are unclean and haram for consumption. But according to the Madhab Malikiyah, dogs are sacred, but their consumption is haram. It is fatwa about dogs status, clean or pure. And next example, consuming frog meat. According to majority of Muslim scholars, Syafi'iyah and Hanafiyah and Malikiyah and Hanabila, the law on eating frog meat is haram, forbidden. But according to the Madhab Malikiyah, consuming frog is halal, permitted. The reason it is haram because frog is animal that live in two realms, water and land. Frog is also classified as disgusting animals, or in Arabic, al-khaba'ith. So it is haram to eat. The reason it is halal because there is no text in the Al-Quran and Al-Hadith that specifically forbids frog meat. So in Indonesia, because we are Syafi'iyah, so we don't eat frog meat. But in several countries, such as in Malikiyah Madhab, in Morocco, in Tunisia, in their perspective, Malikiyah, frog meat is halal. And the last example here, the last example about consuming grasshopper, according to Madhab Syafi'iyah, grasshopper is like cricket, type of insect that can be consumed as long as it does not cause harm. According to the Malikiyah madhab, grasshopper is also halal, provided it is slaughtered first. The meaning of slaughtered here is stabbed with sharp object, roasted or boiled. Okay, all of the participants, that was the example of comparative fatwa between madhab fikih. And as we know that until now, the madhab fikih still exists, such as in Southeast Asia, in Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, we are in Shafi'iyah madhab. And for example, in Turkey, in Pakistan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, in that areas, I think Hanafiya madhab. And in Morocco, Tunisia, Aljazair, Mauritania, in that area is Malikiyah madhab. And Hanabila, for example, in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and Imamiyah in Iran, and there is Saidiyah in part of Yemen, Ibadiyah in Oman. I think exists until today. So the madhab fikih, as I told you, still exists, and we can read all the fikih reference books in different madhab. As the epilogue of this presentation, this is the presentation of the fatwas of Indonesian Ulama Council regarding foods, medicine, and cosmetic, the status of which is a difference of opinion among the ulama. From the explanation above, we can understand that Indonesian Ulama Council fatwas are always based on the opinions and argument of the majority of ulama. All right, it is my presentation, and we still have time. We can use for discussing about this topic. Okay, I give back the time to Mr. Sa'aduddin as the moderator of this session.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Arwani Sarozi. Okay, so now we have a Q&A session. So please, all of Sharia expert. Yes, please.
Thank you, Bapak Arwani, for the material. I have two questions. Maybe I can ask the first question first. So we know that there are lots of beneficial gut microbes. So this question is about microbial product. And this is like a real case that I face in my work. So there are lots of beneficial gut microbes, and people often take that microbes for example, baby gut or infant stool, which we know that it is najis and it is not good. But is it allowed or halal? And how, if it's allowed, how to purify them?
Okay.
Yeah, that's my first question.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Tita. I think about your product. Your product has used microbes like that.
Yes. Yes, okay. Use microbes. But the source is from baby stool or infant stool.
What the source in
Indonesia?
The source of
kotoran bayi, Bapak. Ya, jadi kan ada mikroba, tapi banyak.
Mikrobanya dari apa tadi?
Dari kotoran bayi, Bapak.
Oh, oke, alright.
Ya, jadi microbial gut. Jadi mikrob dari pencernaan manusia, tapi biasanya diambil dari kotoran bayi seperti itu. Apakah diperbolehkan?
Yeah.
Dan apabila diperbolehkan, bagaimana cara mempurifikasinya?
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, I understand, Ms. Tita, your question about microbes. So the first thing that microbe or product microbial is halal if purified and not harmful. So if the product of microbial from carcasses, for example, or from apa tadi kotoran?
Yeah, infants too. Yeah.
Yes, it is najis. It is najis, and I think can be purified. We cannot purify it because the material is something najis.
Okay.
The fatwa that I explained from Indonesian Ulama Council is only about the medias of microbes. The medias, something, for example, not pure. But I read the fatwa. Microbe and microbial product are halal as long as they are not harmful and they are not najis, not unclean. It is the case if we want to use microbes or product microbials in our food or drink products or medicine products. So if the microbe and microbial product grow in unclean growth media, if the microbe and media can be spirated and then purified by sparkling water, then it is halal. So in this fatwa, only about growth media, unclean growth media, but not raw materials of microbes from something najis or unclean. It is the problem because in your question that the microbes made from feces of human or baby, feces of human. It is
Yes.
of course it is najis. Okay, you understand, Ms. Tita, what I explained?
Okay. So for microbes, we cannot really take something that is najis. So the only thing that we can purify here is the media instead of the raw material itself. So it's not possible at all to obtain microbes from something that are not halal then. Like najis, but it's not haram. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It is the main of fatwa.
Okay. So we cannot really certify that kind of microbial then.
Yes, because the material from unclean feed.
Okay, yeah.
It is not allowed.
Yeah, okay, yeah, understand. I also have my second question. It's regarding the insect that this is like the last, I think the last slide that you explained to us. So I want to confirm what are the type of insect that is considered halal. Is it only for grasshopper and cricket? Because we know that carmine is also halal by BPGPH, and carmine is also insect. So I would like to know like what kind of insect that are halal regarding BPGPH and MUI fatwa. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. is in general that insect is in Arabic language al-hasharat, small animals in this world, small animal in this world, fly or not fly, in water or in land, all of them named al-hasharat or insect, and its status in Islamic teaching generally haram, forbidden to consumption, except grasshopper and cricket. For example, grasshopper and cricket, it is halal for consumption. But the other, in majority of ulama, in majority of ulama, haram. For example, dragonfly and cockroach and also lizard, for example, haram for consumption. But in Malikiyah madhab, there is a different opinion, because Malikiyah said that all of hasharat is halal, except that harmful is not allowed for consumption. Do you understand? The majority of ulama, such as Hanafiya, Shafi'iyah, Hanabila, said that the insect in general haram, except grasshopper and cricket. But in Malikiyah madhab, all of hasharat is halal, except who harmful. Okay. And in Indonesia, because we have Indonesian Ulama Council,
Yeah.
we use the majority of ulama opinion, including Shafi'iyah madhab, that all the hasharat, all insect is haram for consumption, except grasshopper and cricket.
But why then carmine is considered halal according to BPJPH? Because it's not from cricket or grasshopper, but it's from other insect. It's for colorant, red colorant.
Okay.
Carmine.
Okay, yes, carmine. Yes, I mean there is also several insect that halal, like for coloring food. Caramel, I think it is halal. Yes, in Indonesian Ulama Council fatwa.
But that's
And
not halal as a raw
you-
material. I think it's halal only as a dry powder. You cannot consume carmine just like that.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Because BPJPH always use fatwa of Indonesian Ulama Council. So everything, if we want to take halal certification from BPJPH, so we have to take the opinion according to Indonesian Ulama Council. Okay.
Ya,
It is my
oke.
answer, Miss.
Ya, terima kasih Bapak.
Ya, sama-sama. Okay, Mr. Sa'adudin.
Thank you, Miss Gita. So we also have siapa tadi? Miss Elif Kubra, raise hand. So if if you have a question, I forgot just now raise hand, Miss Elif Kubra or Mr. Omer Farooq.
Thank you. I just wanted to be clear about the microbial things, microorganisms coming from the fund, baby fund, because in Jakim they have a fatwa regarding with this, and they accept. But I wanted to ask about the exact information about MUI fatwa. Do you have? Because why? Because specifically in Asian countries, they are using this raw material like probiotics or something, yani adding the dairy products. So I guess the sister is almost asked same question, but some product, especially from Korea and other Asian countries, they are exporting to Malaysia or Indonesia. So they are producing system like this. So as we supposed to understand that there's not accepted from Indonesia, or there's a specific fatwa, specific situation for this.
Okay. Sorry, exactly. I didn't your question well. In my understand, you asked about export a product to Asian countries such as Indonesia and Malaysia, but the producer not in the same madhab fiqh, like that.
Yani it's not regarding with the madhab, it was regarding with the sister Rita asked. Yani the microorganism.
Macro.
Okay, microbe. Yes, about microbe.
Yes.
So I think about microbe, it is not only in Indonesian Ulama Council Fatwa, because the explain of this fatwa is general. I think across the scholars fiqh, madhab fiqh, but the first, as I taught you before, that microbe and microbial product are halal as long as they are not harmful and they are not unclean. It is the case when we want to use microbe and microbial product for our food or drink or medicine or cosmetic product. It is the case.
Yes.
And this fatwa, I'm sure, not only in Shafi'iyah, but in different madhab fiqh. Because maybe in your country, maybe the majority is Hanafiyah, not Shafi'iyah, maybe. But in the other country, different madhab. But this fatwa normally used also in the other madhab, not only in Shafi'iyah, in Indonesia or Southeast Asia.
Yes. My question was actually comparing with the Malaysia's situation. In Malaysia, they have a fatwa regarding with this. Of course, there's some conditions, but they are accepting these raw materials coming from babies' infant. Yani. So just wanted to be sure and to be clear about this. In Indonesia, according to MUI fatwa, there's no any acceptance, or there's no any the way to accept this kind of based products. Yani this microbe coming from baby infant product don't accept from MUI, because some products coming to Indonesia from Korea, they are including. That's why I'm asking actually.
Okay. You mean microbe from baby feces?
Yes.
Okay. It is clear that baby feces or human feces is unclean or najis.
Okay.
there is no madhab fiqhi that said it is pure or it is tahir. All of madhab, faces of human, baby or the other, and faces of animal also, it is unclean or najis. And it
Yeah.
is don't allow to eat, for example, or to use as in such as cosmetic, for example. It is don't allow.
Miss Elif, do you mean like placenta, baby placenta, or
No. It was fun.
oh?
The poo yani.
Okay, okay, yes,
Okay.
Miss Alif.
Okay. Terima kasih.
Okay, sama-sama. You're welcome.
Okay, we still have time, so please, if you have a question.
Ustaz, just one question in regards to fatwas.
Okay,
How
please,
often
Mr. Bekim.
do the Majma' al-Ulama release fatwas? How often do you sit down as a majlis? Do you do it on daily basis, or you do it, let's say, every month or every 6 months? And do you release those fatwas in a printing method, like in a book, and where we can find them?
Okay. Yes, Mr. Bekim Hassani. Exactly your question. Inshallah, I will explain in next topic. After this topic, we have standard process for determining halal fatwa. After this topic, but it is okay. In Indonesian Ulama Council, hold the hold the meeting once at least once a week, usually right now in Wednesday. In Wednesday we have a routine meeting. Specifically we discuss about halal product fatwa. It's Wednesday, and sometimes more than once time a week if the material of a meeting very much. And sometimes also we have a meeting when there is a big problem or emergency question, for example, from the government. We have to discuss about something need fatwa fiqh. So routinely, at least once a week, it is our.
Are those fatwas translated into English?
Okay, if you right now, yes, the result of fatwa we publish by MUI website in internet. Inshallah, next Mr. Sa'duddin will share the address of website MUI. Yes, part of them translated with Arabic and English, but part of them still in Indonesian language. So the simple way to read the result of fatwa Indonesian Ulama Council, visit our website. Inshallah, there is part of them translated in English, and all of you can read it from your phone, for example. Okay.
If you can send us the link after, that would be great, inshallah.
Yes. Mr. Sa'duddin, maybe next question.
Yeah. I'm sorry, it's rainy in my place, so I need to move. Okay.
Maybe if we have time, continue the question, Mr. Sa'duddin.
I'm sorry. It's rainy in my place, so the voice cannot clear. Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Arwani.
Okay.
Okay. So there is no other question. Is there any other question? Actually, we still have 45 minutes to break. And we still have one material left. So if you want to continue with the last material, then break, then post test, or we break early and we will come back in 1 hour and a half.
Why don't we break for 20 minutes and then come back,
Mhm.
because in Australia it gets a bit too late. So if you
Oh,
can
yeah,
break
yeah.
15, 20 minutes and come back.
Yes. Okay, we will break for 15 minutes.
20 or 15?
Makasih.
Ya. 15 menit, Pak Roni. Kita break dulu 15 menit. Bisa sholat
Okay,
asar
15,
dulu.
15 minutes. Okay. Yes.
15.
Yes.
Okay.
15 minutes, and after that we
Okay, see
continue.
you in.
Okay.
Yeah. We can
Okay.
continue.
Thank you.
We can continue. Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.